Let us take you back some 3,500 years. At this time, Egypt is a significant power. Thutmose III has become sole ruler of the country after the death of his co-ruler. A coalition of Canaanite and Mitanni forces, led by the king of Megiddo, have taken the opportunity of trying to rebel from Egyptian rule. Thutmose has quickly gathered his troops and moved north to confront them. The Egyptians have advanced along the coastal road, stopping at the city of Aruna before deciding their next move. The city of Megiddo lies in the strategically important location at the edge of the Jezreel Valley, controlling the main trade route between Egypt and Mesopotamia. Any approach to the city must consider the Mount Carmel Ridge and the presence of three primary routes. The northern and southern routes offer the easiest going for a large force, whereas the western route is the most direct but considerably narrower. The plain in front of the city will later be known in Hebrew as Har Megiddo. Today, the place has a new name. We call it Armageddon. Our game is based on the battle for the city fought so long ago. Matt will be taking the role of Thutmose III, and James will be standing in as the king of Megiddo, leading the coalition of Canaanite and Mitanni forces. Both players are shown the map above. However, the Canaanites are not shown the presence of the western route. Nor does the Egyptian player know that this information has been withheld. Our setup for the tabletop battle attempts to emulate this situation, with neither player being entirely confident of their decision making. The players will only see the actual terrain on the day. The Egyptian army is slightly larger than the Allied force, but neither player is aware of this before battle commences. The initial decisions for both commanders are relatively straightforward. The Egyptian player must decide on which of the routes to use. First, let's hear from Matt, the Egyptian commander.
Oh.
I am recording already. So.
That's cool. That's all the good.
I started midway through.
So I've decided to split my force into two regiments. One will come in from the west side, I think as historically accurate as that would be, and then one will come from the south and do like a little pincer movement, I think.
Alright, you have a backup plan?
Retreat. It's my backup plan.
Now let's hear from James as the king of Megiddo.
My plan is simple. I'm going to have archers in the city. I'm going to have chariots ready to charge across the field. And I think Matt's coming in here from the south. So I'm going to set some guards up there and hope that I can catch him before he gets to me.
Okay. Have you got any backup plans? What if Matt's not there?
Matt will definitely be there.
Okay.
If Matt's not going here, he's playing an absolute failure of a game.
Okay. That's a good soundbite for later.
Yeah.
Deployment has followed history, with both players effectively making the same choices as their historical counterparts. However, we've also diverged from actual events, with the Egyptian player opting to split his divisions. Hi there, just a quick look at the armies that we've used for the game. These are a mixture of new line designs and Old Glory miniatures. The new lines are all individually based. That's this sort of figure, whereas the Old Glory look are sort of in strips. I don't really mind either approach, to be honest. The strips are easier to paint, the harder to base, and you get a bit more variety with the individual figures. But they've been painted to match in with the actual terrain that we've customized. And yeah, I'm quite pleased with the results for 10mm figures. It's surprising how much detail you can get on. It was important for me to get the sort of striped headdress for the New Kingdom Egyptians, and we've really, I think, done that quite well. This is a Little Wars TV Quick Strike Challenge, so there was really only one choice for our game. We would use the Age of Hannibal rules. All of the armies were painted specifically for this challenge, and we had a time constraint to consider. So the armies were kept small, but also representative. We wanted to make sure that we could emulate the historical engagement properly. Here's a quick top-down view of the battlefield that we created for this game. It was important to us to be able to transport and to potentially use it again for other types of games. Hence, we've gone for a modular design. The city of Megiddo is actually a Blotz MDF model in 10mm scale, and it really helps to set the scene. You may be wondering about the colour choices. Well, we've looked at a lot of pictures of the area today and how it changes over time. And we went in the end for a combination of stone, sand and coffee colours. We think that this does look at least historically representative and is consistent with the way that the terrain looks today. Okay, so not too much action after the first pair of half turns. You can see on the right hand side of the screen the Egyptian units have got into combat with the defending units, haven't really broken through. They've exchanged DMZs or DMZs, and we've got a unit of supporting or 2 units of supporting chariots coming up to try and lend assistance. The Canaanite player, I think, might regret splitting his force because they think he's just done what the Egyptians want him to do, but we'll see how that plays out. As you can see, the Egyptians are advancing from the south, but the Canaanites have also decided to attack the Ra division in the west. Will this pay off, or will the larger Egyptian forces simply overwhelm them too?
How far did you measure that in space?
That is 9 inches.
Cheeky there, isn't it? What?
So another swing on the die roll, and we've lost a unit of Egyptian chariots. The Canaanite guard are doing pretty well.
Sure is. I'm down to 6.
That's another morale clock reduction for the Canaanites. We're currently tracking Canaanites 6, Egyptians 7. As you decrease the morale clock, you move fewer units. There's chariots moving into the archers.
Feels like not a bad plan.
Using the Age of Hannibal rules, units receive demoralisation markers, or DMZs, when receiving hits from missile fire or when losing in combat. Units that do not rally to recover these are penalised and can quit the field altogether when accumulating 3 or more. Unfortunately for the king, the Egyptians have destroyed his guard and broken through in the south. Only one chance remains: break the Ra division and defend the city. What will happen? Well, let's let Matt give you the answer.
Yeah, range is it over there?
Probably in range here.
Over there.
What about that then, right?
6. Is that just? It is just in the corner, I think.
We're getting late into the stages of the battle here. Canaanites are pretty much having to retire from the field. We've got a few little bits and pieces to tidy up, but the Egyptians are looking pretty strong at the moment. So clear Egyptian victory. Let's join the players for a bit of a debrief.
True to my guns, I had infantry pushing your way into a narrow chasm that I had you trapped in. The second I saw this army, I turned half my force, wasted time re-manoeuvring, ran down, then lost this flank, so tried turning back to rejoin the fight, and you just nailed me with hails of arrow from both sides. If I had stuck to my original plan, I could have broken this side, and these guys would have not been able to get into the city before I turned around and took command. So, poor strategic leadership.